This past weekend, I went car shopping and I almost bought a Tesla. I didn't end up going with it, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second. But my experience dealing with the Tesla dealership and the whole process and them walking me through it was so transparent, so cool that I firmly believe that they are doing the future work of the automobile industry. I have traditionally hated going car shopping. I wait till the last minute to do it. We need another vehicle for our business. And I was like, okay, let's spend the Saturday. Let's go do it. And I said, but I really want to check out Tesla and see what they have to offer because I know, a lot of people, my friends have Teslas and they really like them. And so I said, let's schedule a test drive. So I went there and we walked up. Our appointment was at 12. They were like, okay, here's the card. And it's not keys, it's a card. So they handed me the card. They said, let me show you the car. They showed me how it worked. And they said, all right, you're free to go. You have 20 minutes. And if you don't come back in 20 minutes, we'll probably just call you. But yeah, you have 20 minutes. Sometimes you can take more if you want to. So I just showed me how to work the car. I drove it around. I was shocked by the acceleration because when you're in an electric car, it just goes. There is no shift. There is no anything. So the handling, everything of it, I test drove a Model Y. I think it was the performance version. And after we got done test driving it, the car consultant, because they don't have car salesmen there, he goes, okay, cool. Do you guys have any questions about it? Or are you interested in actually buying one in the future? Or like, what are you guys thinking? And we said, yeah, I think we're wanting to know the lease options for it because for a business car, it makes more sense for us to lease it. So I said, what's the best way to do that? He goes, well, you could do it from your phone on the Tesla.com website and everything is on there and it'll tell you the exact price, or I can pull it up with you, but everything you see is what I see. And it's all transparent. It's open pricing. Like it is what it is. Like there's no hidden games or anything. So he ended up walking us through the pricing and everything and the options to buy it with a tax credit and the options to lease it. And we left because we wanted to think about it because we went over to Honda and test drove some of their vehicles. But it was so transparent and it was so refreshing that nobody had an angle and you didn't know if you were getting screwed over or not. So it was very, refreshing to have that. I really enjoyed this experience of it, and I will probably buy one in the future. But for right now, the reason I didn't buy it is because of their lease contract. Unfortunately, Tesla's lease is more like a rental car. A lease, traditionally, you have the option to buy that car at the end of the lease. So what that means is if the car is worth $45,000 at the end of the lease, you have the option to buy that car for $34,000, $33,000. And if you didn't put as many miles on it, the car is worth more, you can actually buy the car for $33,000 and turn around and sell it for $35,000 back to the dealership, and you can take that $2,000 and put it on your next lease. You're kind of like throwing that kind of runs as a down payment for your next lease, which is really cool. And I really like having the option of that because it has traditionally worked for us where we just throw that next money we made into the next lease. And I didn't like how I didn't have the option to do that with Tesla. So we went to Honda and we ended up getting a CR-V, and we have the option to purchase the lease and everything. And I just felt more comfortable with the way the world is right now, that it's a lot easier to get gas. And I don't think the grid is set up necessarily where we live, where in Indiana, where you can easily navigate and have chargers everywhere. And we travel a lot for business. So, but I really liked, like when I sat down with the Honda guy, it was funny. The MSRP on the car was like $37,000, and he sat down and he goes, I already tacked off $1,000 for you. And he like winked at me. And I'm like, oh, that is so disgusting. It's so disgusting that somebody you don't know how far he'll go, right? Like you could sit there and play the game for 3 hours and said, oh, well, I'll do it if you pick another $1,000 off. I hate that. I hate the negotiations of it. I felt like Tesla is the Chick-fil-A of the fast food restaurant and car dealerships, right? It's very, hey, here you go, here's it, great service, and there's no games, there's no gimmicks. I just didn't feel comfortable. I ended up going with the Honda just because of the term and the monthly payment, and everything just really made sense. And I really trust Honda. I've had Hondas a bunch. I'm not saying I don't trust Tesla, but I think Tesla is going to a place in which if they can continue to work out the kinks in their lease agreement and all that, I think it would be a great great deal, and I would have done it. But I like having the option to buy the car at the end of the lease, because if I really enjoy the car, I'd like to keep the car, and I can actually make money if I resell it. So that was my Tesla experience, and I post other videos on business, entrepreneurship, and money. So if you like that type of stuff, hit like and subscribe. Thanks.